All right, welcome everyone to an emergency episode of Grand Prix Talk. I am not at the studio. I'm coming to you from my bedroom here at home. Um, F1 has completely gone upside down today, it seems, and I feel like I just wanted to go live quickly just to discuss briefly what's going on. I'll be going more in depth on all this on Wednesday, during the actual Grand Prix Talk show. But man, what is going on with Red Bull? That's the main topic that I'm trying to dig into. Like, what's going on at Red Bull? So first off, Jos Verstappen, father of Max. I mean, Max is doing fine apparently. You know, he recently won the Bahrain Grand Prix, the first race of the 2024 F1 season. But Jos Verstappen, for some reason, doesn't look happy. Apparently, he wants Christian Horner gone, in part because of Christian Horner's allegations regarding potential not so family friendly photos that he's alleged to have been sending around, which I think obviously that's a pretty crappy thing to do. So Jos Verstappen wants F1, wants Christian Horner gone. Max Verstappen, even though he's doing fine, now there's a rumor going around that with an open seat available at Mercedes, he might go there. Ford might pull out of the Red Bull deal that they had announced back last year, and now the FIA president Mohammed Ben Sulayem is under investigation for some reason. But the main focus here is Red Bull. Like, what is going on with them? It looks like they're collapsing within itself, and now like we're barely getting to see it. Okay, look. So Jos Verstappen wants Christian Horner gone from after the what's it called? After the whole allegations that there's going on against them. So that's not very fun, I'd say. Frustrated. And here's another one. Let's see. Motorsport.com. I think this is the first one because I found an article about this immediately quickly. Motorsport.com reports that a frustrated Ford demands urgent resolution to Red Bull's Horner investigation. The American car giant has added to the pressure on Red Bull to complete its investigation into the allegations surrounding its Formula One team principal, Christian Horner. Yikes. Okay, hang on. I gotta look at this real quick. As silence continues on the progress of Red Bull's weeks-long probe into allegations made against Horner by a female employee, Ford has upped the ante and urging the energy drinks company to get on with the matters. According to a report by the Associated Press, this is the AP, mind you. Like, this is a highly credible source. Ford CEO Jim Farley has written to Red Bull, making it clear the brand is not happy with the lack of progress over a matter that it thinks needs to be taken very seriously. In the letter, which has been seen by AP, Farley writes that Ford is increasingly frustrated, however, by the lack of resolution or clear indication from you about when you anticipate a fair and just resolution to the matter. So this is all just adding fuel to the flames with Red Bull right now. There's already big things happening with Max, you know, in the possibility that he might go to Mercedes. Now Ford is looking like they might pull the plug on their deal with Red Bull because of the whole Christian Horner allegation thing. Let's see. I thought I saw an article out here somewhere that potentially Ford was actually really considering pulling out of the Red Bull deal. Let's see. Okay, Autoblog has another one. Horner F1 controversy. Ford may not yet be satisfied, and Max Verstappen's dad definitely isn't. Red Bull boss, powers through, assisted by Jerry Halliwell, and despite blast email, that's all it says. Okay, let's see. Christian Horner said midway through his Red Bull internal investigation that it was business as normal for the Formula One team and star of Drive to Survive, and he wasn't kidding. Horner, in one race weekend alone, gave Netflix an entire season of material in what could be the performance of his lifetime. Cleared by Red Bull last week on allegations of misconduct levied against him by a team employee, he moved on to the season opening race in Bahrain. Now take this with a grain of salt because this is coming from autoblog.com. And to be honest, I'm not very sure if they're fully trustworthy. We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, it looks like Red Bull themselves cleared Christian Horner of any wrongdoing. Let's see. Horner has denied wrongdoing from the start, but just when he thought the matter was closed, a trove of alleged evidence against him was sent from a generic email address to more than 100 F1 industry members during the middle of the second practice for the opening race in Bahrain. The authenticity of the files has not yet been verified by the Associated Press, so we'll have to wait and see. Then Red Bull Racing does what it does best: totally dominates the field, easily. So now what? Well, Red Bull on Sunday denied any strife within the team, saying in a statement, "There are no issues here. The team are united and we are focused on racing." Try telling that to Ford, who is already pretty pissed off at Red Bull for trying to mess around with these allegations, to Jos Verstappen, who wants Christian Horner gone, to Max Verstappen, who might be joining Mercedes. And Helmut Marko, by the way, is saying he will not stand in Max Verstappen's way should Max decide to leave Red Bull for Mercedes. The question here is, does it actually happen? I have no idea. FP1 Will, a pretty good YouTuber, this guy makes some pretty good content. You should definitely check out his videos. FP1 Will is already slamming a big fat no on Max Verstappen going to Red Bull. I feel like he may have just jinxed it. I feel like all of a sudden we might just see Max in a Mercedes uniform in 2025 or 26. Most likely 25. Autosport, here's a very credible source. Autosport says, could Red Bull's civil war really trigger shock Verstappen F1 switch to Mercedes? That's a good question. Let's see what they have to say about this. Like, this is all coming from Autosport if you want to go check it out for yourself, but I am reacting as I am reading here. One thing is sure though, this saga is far from over, and the ultimate endgame may not become clear for quite some time yet. Let's see. I'm trying to find like where actual answers are there. Businessman Charlem Univa, Christian Horner, team principal of Red Bull Racing, his wife Jerry. Let's see. A takedown campaign. A takedown campaign. For a few short hours after Wednesday's announcement by Red Bull that Horner had been cleared by an independent investigation, it seemed that things would settle down as attention would quickly shift back to the fortunes of the team's RB20 on track. But this idea was blown out of the water halfway through second practice on Thursday evening when two anonymous emails were sent to senior F1 personnel, including FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem and F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali, as well as team principals and media. In the emails was a tranche of WhatsApp messages and images that were alleged to be central to the investigation. Okay, we covered that part. Here it is. Okay, a lot of paddock gossip has surrounded Jos Verstappen, who is known not to have always seen eye to eye with Horner over various things that have happened since Max joined Red Bull Racing. His dramatic comments on Saturday night made it to the Daily Mail certainly leave us in no doubt that he falls into the camp that wants Horner out. There's tension here while he remains in position, says Jos Verstappen, according to the Daily Mail. The team is in danger of being torn apart. It can't go on the way it is. It will explode. He is playing the victim when he is the one causing the problems. Yikes. But there's a world of difference between wanting something to happen and being a perpetrator to make it happen. And Verstappen has been at pains to rubbish the idea that he has behind a smear campaign or the email drops. That wouldn't make sense, says Jos. Why would I do that when Max is doing so well here? Oh man, this is quite insane. Opportunity calls. Whether he is a passenger, driver, and all that is happening cannot be confirmed right now. However, the events are putting Verstappen Sr. in a position to capitalize on there potentially being a change at the top of Red Bull. Okay, I think I've seen enough. I don't know, man. Honestly, I'm starting to think that maybe, perhaps, this change does happen and Max might go to Mercedes. But I don't know, man. Like, it still feels all kind of new because let's just say Max suddenly does go to Mercedes. Who's going to take his place at Red Bull? I mean, if Red Bull is still even around, at least as we know it, because, Christian Horner. Let's not forget that even though I'm not a fan of saying this, Sergio Perez is on a contract year this year. Like, his contract expires at the end of this season unless they renew him. So, if Max leaves, I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, what's up with Checo? I mean, I think Checo's just going to kick back, relax, and as this all happens, but I did feel like I got to remind people, like, he's in a contract year. Max might go to Mercedes, so if these two drivers leave, theoretically speaking, Red Bull as we know it might be in the dustbin. I don't know, man. It's all very, very bizarre. Let's see. Is there anything that might give us clues? Seeing the Dutchman slip from Mercedes' grasp has long played on Mercedes boss Toto Wolff's mind. and is influencing his desire to not let Junior Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, that's the lad. Andrea Kimi Antonelli. I hope I said his name right. If I didn't, by all means, please let me know. Okay, so Andrea Kimi Antonelli, a 17-year-old driver from Italy, specifically a city called Bologna. Bologna. I don't know how you say it. I'm not gonna try it. Anyway, Kimi Antonelli, an Italian racing driver currently racing in Formula 2 with Prema. He's the guy that apparently Mercedes is keeping their eye on to sign on to F1 from 2025 onward. The thing is, if Max takes that place, if Max somehow takes that seat, well, what now? It's now between Antonelli and Verstappen, or let's see if someone else decides to take that place at Mercedes. Honestly, we'll have to wait and see, because let's be real, would Max actually succeed also? Because Mercedes doesn't have the fastest car at the moment. They might be able to develop it and make it even better, or Max might somehow drag that box up to the grid, up to the front of the field. We'll see. But either way, Toto Wolff is observing from the sidelines apparently, and if the opportunity shows up, well, apparently, okay, here's Toto Wolff's statement. I think the driver will always choose the quickest car. That is fundamentally what it's all about. At the moment, the Red Bull is the quickest car, so that will obviously be the priority. Apparently, that was not a no. That wasn't, I think Toto Wolff realizes he does have a chance to lure Max Verstappen to Mercedes if Red Bull continues to fall apart the way it looks like it's. I mean, these are all rumors, honestly. Ford potentially leaving, Max potentially going to Mercedes. These are all rumors, honestly, and I don't want to dig in too much until I know more information. And besides, this is really just like an emergency episode of the show. Like, this isn't exactly like a full actual episode. So I think, honestly, I'm not gonna hold on. I'm not gonna speak too much on the situation. I think I might just wait till there's more info. Maybe on Wednesday, by the time the show goes live, we'll have a little more info, or something else happens, and suddenly half the show is taken up by trying to cover all these crazy F1 headlines that are happening right now. So we'll see. But just wanted to dive in and share a little bit my takes on this whole situation. Grand Prix Talk goes live Wednesday at 11 a.m. on 22S Radio and here on this channel. So if you want to listen in, I might have some more, then by all means, please tune in Wednesday at 11 a.m. That's Pacific time, so make sure you tune in. I might have a little more then, but other than that, honestly, take this all with a grain of salt. I think these are all just rumors, and I don't want to spill the beans on anything until we know more information. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, on this emergency episode of Grand Prix Talk, and I will catch you all on Wednesday for the actual scheduled show at 11 a.m. See ya.